Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Sorry I had a coughing spell, so I don't know. Anyway, I couldn't stop myself because I'm very excited for this movie. This is the 1517 to Paris. So this is about American soldiers who board a train in Paris who's going to be attacked by terrorists. And so basically they take matters into their own hands. It's a true story. So I love anything with our soldiers in it. We all know that. I love true stories. It's well documented. The coolest thing about this is they actually had these soldiers play themselves in this movie. So I think this was done with the Navy SEAL movie as well. I have to think of the name of that one, which I really enjoyed. And I get it. The acting's not going to be, the best, but I mean, this is great. This is how you recognize our heroes, is by letting them play themselves in the movies. So I'm really excited about it. Although 5 on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes 25% from the critics and 43% from the users. So I'm a little disappointed in that, but I'm still very excited to see this. It's directed by Clint Eastwood, so I mean, come on, he doesn't mess up too much either. So hopefully everybody else missed a little something, and we're gonna find another little gem here. I'm very excited. Either way, I think it's going to be a great movie just to recognize these fellas and see what they did, and let them act in their own action series that they actually did in real life. Anyway, enough. I'm excited. I'm going to get into it. I'll stop from time to time and tell you how it's going. Stick with me. All right? Hey everybody. I'm going to do a quick check-in here. We're watching the 1517 to Paris. We're at the 48-minute and 35-second mark. And I'm really enjoying this movie. I don't understand the bad ratings, okay? I mean, of course it has everything I love in a movie, and we've already discussed that, so I won't go over it again. But I don't know what I was expecting. I kind of just expected these guys, to show what happened on the train. It's only an hour and 33 minutes, but what they've done for us is, they start out, you show the three of them at present time or whatever, and then they go back in time, like when they were boys. And these three kids all grew up together, in grade school. They met each other in grade school and were friends, and then it shows how they grew apart, whatever, and then their paths to the military. So from what I'm gathering, only 2 of them went into the military. The one did not. But I think one went into the Air Force. The other one might have went into the Army. I'm not sure. I know one went into the Air Force, Stone. And, and it shows everything that they went through. So they're not just superstars in the military. They had a tough go of it. Guy fails one thing, all that kind of stuff. Guy messes up, leaves his bag behind. So, just like everybody, they growing and hopefully getting better, but like not perfect, these heroes. Which I think is great. And they're, now they're at the stage. When it was young, there was the young actors in it. It wasn't these guys, but now they're in it, and they're not terrible. I don't think so. I'm enjoying it because it's more real. Although they are trying to act, they're just reenact what they did. So I'm not sure how much all of this is true, but some other things I didn't expect were the actual actors that are in it. Judy Greer plays a mom. Jenna Fisher, she plays a mom as well. Who else is there? Thomas Lennon is in it. Tony Hale, he was in it, and Jamal White. So it was interesting to see these well-known actors in this movie. Again, I just thought it was going to be nobody I knew. That's why I didn't read them off to you in the beginning. But they're really developing, their characters and who they were prior to this. They are showing a little bit of flash forward into the train and what's happening. Small snippets, but showing as they grew up, went through grade school, going into the military and everything that they went through. So again, we're about halfway through, and I love it. So I don't know what's going to happen here. It must get really, really bad for all these bad reviews, or people just really disrespect these heroes. I have to check to make sure that this is at least true. Maybe they're making it up, embellishing a little bit more than they should be. I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm loving it. Stick around. As you can tell, I'm excited. And hopefully it continues on like this. And I'll do a little bit more research to make sure this is at least somewhat accurate. But, stay tuned. Alright, I'll be back. Hey everybody. We're at the credits of the 1517 train to Paris. And I am a little brought down at this point because I'm trying to read the reviews to see why it's got such low scores. And I understand what they're saying. As we know, the three main characters in this are the actual people who saved hundreds of people on this train. And as a tribute to them, Clint Eastwood let them act in their own movie about their own heroism. That's enough in my book. I mean, we get it, they're not trained actors. They're not going to be the greatest. And you know, when they're going back in time and they're showing their trip across Europe, they're backpacking across Europe is what leads to the train. You know, they're trying to replay the whole thing. And it comes off a little awkward, you know. The funny moments that I'm sure that they had during the trip, you know, it seems more staged and not really as funny. But escape from that. Forget that. Know that these three guys were doing this, and that they probably had a really good time, and there was a lot of good funny jokes going back and forth as they pick on each other, and everything that went on to lead them onto the train. Just don't worry about how well it was acted. If you can do that, you're really going to enjoy this film. I mean, there are some other quirks about it too. As I said, the two mothers are fine. There is a scene where they go in and, like, this is during grade school, they go in and speak to the teacher, but they do it together. And it's like a weird conversation between them. The teacher's telling them they have ADD, and then she's like, you know, it's like that kind of thing. So I get it. I think what it's meant to show is that the soldiers struggled a little bit in elementary school as they were growing up, like a lot of kids do, and the mothers were, you know, not accepting what the teachers were saying. That's the whole point of the scene. You know, it could have been done maybe a little bit better instead of having both go in, but, you know, small little thing there. But otherwise, I thought it was great. I mean, the terrorist had like 300 rounds on him, and one of the bullets got caught in the chamber, or this would have all been different. And if you watch this, it's pretty amazing on everything that went down. And you know, I think it was a great movie. I just want to see if I have something else. Oh yeah, in another scene, I don't know how true this is, as Stone, who's really the main actor in all of this, there's an active shooter in the base that he's on. And you know, he gets up to kind of, everybody has to hide underneath the desk. So they're on a military base, and there's an active shooter, and they tell everybody to hide underneath their desks, which I found interesting. You know, jam the door and then hide underneath their desk, where he gets up to try and be a hero. So I don't know how true that is, but it kind of, a little bit of foreshadowing of what he does on the train. So for me, you know, I'm disappointed in the naysayers for not seeing for what this is. It's a tribute to these guys, and you know, you know how many lives they saved, and it's going to show their backstory and how they grew up, and you know, them acting in it. Okay, that's great. I found it outstanding. I'm going to give it a 9, maybe even a 10, because I thought it was that worth it. This is a great movie. It's a great tribute. I love real stories. I love our soldiers, you know. So, and it has a little bit at the end, that, you know, the words and stuff like that. We know how I like that too. So, outstanding movie. I'm proud of what they did here, and I'm ashamed of the people who put it down and give it such a low score. I mean, it's not nominating it for an Oscar. I get that. Have fun with it. You know, it's almost like a, you know, real life situation. You're able to see it real time because the guys are really doing it. I don't know. Enough about that. Very disappointed, as you can tell by reading the ones. I didn't see any 10s or anything like that, but you heard it here first. If you like the same things that I like, if you respect our soldiers, and you think that they earn this tribute, watch this movie. And I'd love to hear what you think. You know, and I already know the acting's bad and there's some corny parts. That's not the point of this movie. So, check it out. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm trying to smile. Kimmel's Irish Pub.